So many.
People died on Tuesday. One guy,
and stuff, but
Yeah, so.
I don't know, he had a heart attack or whatever, he was actually riding. Well, there was.
I'd like to call the city council meeting to order with roll call, please.
Joe Meyer,
Here.
Giesling, Klinkhammer. Here. Miller,
Here.
Reich.
Here. Have a motion to suspend with the reading of the last minutes.
So, second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, citizens input, we don't have anybody on, do we?
No.
Okay, that moves us to resolution number 104 of 2025, a resolution to approve the site development plans for 2565 Hills Mill Road.
I think we just go to Cody and Dale and talk about the plans.
Sure. Cody Austin, Origin Design, helping out Dale here, looking at first building here being a 12,000 square foot building, situated towards the back of the lot, and two additional buildings in the near future, 6,000 square foot building and 10,000 square foot building, accompanying with the parking lot going around. We're looking at having access out on the Asbury Road, straight across from the existing roadway. And then a future access kind of towards the north end of the lot on Hales Mills. We're looking at doing all the storm sewer, detention pond kind of in the back here. Also, we're looking at having sanitary sewer connection come out to Hales Mills, Asbury intersection, and then water main kind of coming through the site, feeding the buildings, some hydrants and everything like that. We've gone through and gotten kind of city approval, meeting ordinances for the detention, all stormwater calcs, and I think we've satisfied pretty much everything that the city was looking for. In that respect, we've got some lights that are showing on here as well. Yeah, I guess you guys, anything you want to add to this?
No, I don't think so. No. I mean, we'd answer any questions that you guys have. If you have any questions or concerns, I mean, we'd sure like to hear about them.
Yes, one other thing I didn't point out, the first building here is going to have a drive that goes around the back and have underground parking towards the rear. Then the first floor, which is going to be flush with the front, is going to be commercial with high-end apartments on the second floor of that building.
That was my question.
Initially, is there just gonna be one access point to the property, or will there be a second? When will that second road go in?
So right now, this property to the east is kind of an outlot property for
Okay.
future development. So when the tenants, when we know who the tenants are going to be for that property is when we'll put that secondary access in.
Okay, so right now, the only point in and out is so the people that use the parking lot or the underground garage will go all the way through the parking lot to the back, okay? Thank you.
So nobody's allowed to use that back access point or?
The one off,
Because it shows on this one.
correct, that was one of the things, yeah, one of the things that the traffic study indicated was the location of that driveway as shown on there. Traffic study wanted that to be pushed north,
Okay,
so we're looking at doing that when those future tenants come in. So
So
we
is
can,
that like stage 2?
yes,
I just didn't know if that, I saw it somewhere in the notes that was gonna be the construction, the construction vehicles would be coming in that way.
Correct.
I didn't know if that would be a road that would be a second access point at that point.
probably won't be paved until the
Okay.
future tenants come in.
This detention basin agreement between Wagner and Mr. Winters, is that something that we're gonna have access to, or is that just between them?
We have a copy of that, Karen.
I'm sorry, what?
A copy of that has been submitted as part of their plans, so. What we were looking for there is since that property where the detention area is owned by the Wagners, is to make sure that he had rights, you know, to have all of his detention on that property, and that's what that agreement, delineates as Dale's rights for the detention basin, and then also maintenance and repair.
Okay.
Is there an overflow line or, you know, where's if the detention basin fills up, where's the water go?
Where it currently goes. So currently, the watershed drains to where the detention basin is located at. And the outlet control structure for the detention basin goes currently where the swale is, it goes through the backyards of the neighbors.
Oh, there's no pipe there though.
Not currently.
Okay.
We are connecting into, the neighbors do have a subdrain pipe that we're connecting into for some of that smaller nuisance flow. Before we started the grading in that area, there was a spring kind of in that area. There was always a wet, kind of a wet spot, a low lying wet spot. So the neighbors had installed a subdrain, and we're looking at utilizing that subdrain to still do what they originally intended that subdrain to do. So it's only like a 4-inch subdrain, so there is, I wouldn't call that a pipe, it's more of a, let's get some of that nuisance water out of there, and make sure it's not creating a soggy mess for the neighbors.
Jake, as it goes out of that, down that natural kind of like waterway, then it hits the street and then goes into the sanitary or storm sewer?
That's how it would function, you know, according to the plans. It's basically what happens in a rain event now is water goes through those yards and finds its way down the street, and the same thing would be happening now.
Yeah, there's probably more water going down there now because you've got the cement and concrete, and there's no place for it to go into the ground, right, where the whole development is. So there's more water going to that corner than what there was before.
I think there's a couple ways to think about it, and Cody could probably answer too, since he's gone through the process, but there might be water getting to that area quicker, but the way the basin functions is to not allow more water off the site. It would allow water off the site at a less or equal rate than what it was before.
Okay.
So that's the idea of having the basin there.
Okay.
The flow control structures
And to elaborate on that, the city's ordinances require us to go down to pre-settlement flows. So what that means is we have to analyze the site as if it was like a meadow. So it's not even, it's less water than what they're seeing now. It would be as if there was not even a cornfield there. It would be as if there was a meadow there. So they should see a net reduction in the flow on their side, on their property.
I guess still get confused though. The meadow would allow water to go into the ground, but the concrete won't.
Correct. Well, what we're looking at is the release rate, how
Okay,
much water is coming out of that pipe.
Right. Thank you.
This has gone through planning and zoning.
Planning and zoning met, last week, Tuesday, right before the council meeting. And it was, planning and zoning's recommendation to have for council approval. A lot of things that were discussed at the planning and zoning meeting were stormwater. The neighbors were here at the planning and zoning meeting, and I think all their answers, they must have had all their questions answered, because otherwise I think they would be either on Zoom or where Tom is sitting, because they were very vocal at the last meeting. You know, it is their backyard, and that was one of their major, you know, concerns, that and the light, since there's gonna be lights in the parking lot, you know, how that would, you know, impact their property. So there's also a lighting plan that's been, you know, included in that.
So it's gonna go through stormwater also?
No, that really doesn't need to go through stormwater, because they've met everything as far as stormwater. As far as our stormwater rules in the building, so it doesn't need to go through stormwater.
I guess the one concern I have too maybe is getting a fire truck back to the back building. If the parking spaces are filled, those corners are tight. And then the other one that I think you might have a little bit of a problem with is based on where there's only two, it looks like one small waste receptacle area there. I mean, you sell that by having more pickups, but I don't know how the trucks make the turn to pull that that big long truck to pick that garbage up. You see how tight that looks? And there's parking spaces right across from it, so if that truck needs to come in and back up, I don't know how they get to the garbage containers.
So we have two locations planned out currently, one on the west side of the buildings here. So it'll be a straight pull in, a straight back
Okay.
out. And then we do have a secondary one over here to the east side, which I think is one you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the one I think they'll probably have trouble with that one.
We can take a look at that and maybe open that up a little bit more, maybe.
Normal, I think they normally have to just drive by and then back up, but if there's somebody in that parking spaces, they won't be able to make
Yeah.
that turn.
Yeah, I know, I guess I don't know what their schedule is around here, what time of day they usually come. It's a big-
Well, usually for a dumpster, it's usually a scheduled thing that say if you get a certain days that they just come and pick up. Those would be private dumpsters, that would be.
The other thing is when it gets back there is how they turn around.
Right, and that'll
Yeah.
really be, I mean,
The
this
back all
one
the way.
has a hammerhead
But
turn around.
They load from the front.
Well, I mean, not just the garbage truck too, it's like if it's gonna be businesses that are gonna be delivering, to that building on the first floor they'll have. Not just maybe like UPS type delivery trucks, but they'll probably have it occasionally like a semi truck that would have to deliver to those properties, so. That would also be, same as a fire truck, how are those trucks gonna get in and out?
Yeah.
When are you gonna be notifying the fire?
The fire department got a list. I have not heard back from them. I've sent them the plans.
Yeah, mine are just minor things. Really like the looks of it, just.
The looks are fantastic.
Yeah,
Wow, it's like jumped out at you.
these guys are doing an amazing job. It's gonna be the jewel for the city, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was kind of wondered, why you didn't just bring the parking lot around the whole building so that trucks could just kind of go, one way in, one way out. Make the full circle.
Pretty serious elevation change
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, we're having to install retaining walls just because of that elevation change. And one of the concerns one of the design constraints we have is all this water naturally flows to here. So storm sewer is always designed for usually the 10-year storm. And then the overland flow, any storms above and beyond that, so. If the pipes are full, the water still gets to that detention basin. And for that to happen, we need the water to come down here, still get to that detention basin. Therefore, we're trying to get this slope down. That would try, grading wise, it'd be tough to get this low enough, and that would make this driveway very steep. So it was a hard thing to try to get to design to get access on the west side of the building there.
Do you think that'll impact your future tenants, not, getting, trucks and stuff in and out?
I don't think so. I think we're looking at smaller type. That specific building, them storefronts are approximately 2,000 square feet apiece. So they're not huge, gigantic. It's not like a store that would have big semi loads of stuff, more like straight trucks and things like that. I don't see any problem with that at all.
But even those I like to even think of the Meadows, the Meadows with the majority of stuff, we get a straight truck, but every once in a while they pull up a semi for something, so, there would still be that possibility.
Sure, and we get that over at where we're at now, because when I buy safes, they come in with a semi and we back them in and we use the driveway we have, and I mean, it's fine. Yeah, I haven't had any problem with that in 5 years. That
All these businesses are gonna have to access through the front of the building also. I don't know if that maybe not be a real good visual, cause having the basement underground garage, it's not like a semi truck can go deliver back there. That underground garage is specifically for tenants, for the apartments. So driving around really isn't feasible anyways, because that is not an access point for commercial.
With the underground parking for the residents above, I mean, are you allowing 2 spots, 3 spots, underground?
Well, how many spots have we got there? 40, 20 something?
I think it was right around 20 spots.
I think we have 20 to 22 spots and there's 6 units. So it's, I figured each apartment would be, having 2, along with some equipment for us to, lawnmowers and things. So we built it bigger. It's over 20, but we're gonna need 6, or we need 12 for tenants.
Is the parking lot to the left side of the property, is that at grade? So delivery trucks could park at either end of the big building?
Correct. Yep.
That would be the ideal way to do it then, right? That's at grade. So,
Yep.
okay.
This has just been a curiosity question for me for the past few weeks. What is the stone concrete piece that's still sitting there? What does it serve? On the,
That was the well house for the house that sat there. And the most condensed version is we wanted to make sure everything got to grade before we capped that well, just so that it was done properly the first time. So now that it's to grade, we had to slow down on land production, so they took the equipment out of there. As soon as we get the equipment back, that well will get taken care of.
not a bomb shelter, not.
No, just unfortunately just a well house for the house that was removed.
Any other questions? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve, plans, site plans.
Second,
104.
Yes. Development of 2565,
That's resolution number 104.
resolution 104, there we go.
and I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second. Roll call, please.
Reich,
Aye.
Delmeyer,
Aye.
Linkhammer,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Kiesling.
Passes 4-0. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate the special meeting as
Yeah,
well.
well,
I'm going to stay for another 5 minutes here. It's up to you. Now we have resolution number 105 of 2025, a resolution approving the purchase of a truck for the Public Works Department. We've discussed this before, but
We buy 1 truck or 2 trucks?
2 trucks.
2 trucks. I'll make a motion to approve resolution 105 of 2025, approving purchase of 2 trucks for the Public Works Department.
motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Reich,
Aye.
Delmeyer,
Aye.
Linkhammer,
Aye.
Kiesling, Miller.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. This time we take any other public comment. See anybody?
I
You want-
probably would just have one more comment on the development is they have met everything that, as far as the stormwater requirements are. But one of the big concerns is there is a culvert that is, facing those adjacent neighbors who were at the last planning and zoning meeting. After the meeting, Nate and I shared with them some potential ways that we could pipe the stormwater to our storm sewer. And that's gonna take a combination of, developer, the city, and the property owners. We're looking for the property owners to give us easements for one. If they don't give us any easements, it's kind of like dead in the water. And then to look at a proposal of the best route for it to do, and then potentially cost share that 50-50 with the city and the developer, if, the city council would be, willing to consider that.
Thanks for that. That was a concern of mine, is where the water goes out if that thing fills up, but that's great to know.
And I think it would be worth mentioning too, that anything like that is above and beyond what's required by the ordinance. That's been met, so.
Anything else?
No, that'll be all. Oh, well, one more thing. Nate is we're preparing to set out a public notice for doing asphalt overlay, I fix you too, on Asbury Road between Radford and the east city limits. They plan on starting that on Monday. One of the conditions of the contract was they get it done before school gets out. I know we're getting up there on kind of short notice, but that will impact traffic because we'll be closing that section from starting Monday until the job gets done.
I have a question. Has anybody, isn't there a little section up there that would be City of Dubuque? Is City of Dubuque considered whether they want to just do their little end too while we're doing ours? Since we got the road closed?
Yeah, I mean, I could reach out and see what they want to do, but we're basically just going to, I have.
Cause they're working on Asbury on the other side. Otherwise we get ours milled and overlaid and then there's still probably another few hundred feet of City of Dubuque, right? In front of that, what used to be Hawkeye
Okay.
and across from Widmer. That's some of that City of Dubuque, so I didn't know if that, you know what I mean? That short little section there, it might be worth reaching out to Dubuque if, as long as we have the road closed.
Okay.
Just a thought. I think,
Anything else?
make a motion to adjourn.
I
Okay.
would second.
A motion is second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We stand adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
I was just thinking of that when I drove in, Nate, so I thought, okay, I don't know how many feet there are, but if we have the street closed out, Dubuque's got their staff pretty much mobilized. They might want to come in and grind and